2 and 3 are not as good as 1.
I feel like they saw what worked and they just kind of went with that format because they have a song.
It kind of felt like
pretty
a
much
cash
at all.
grab.
And they have the song in all of them, and then they have they have a song in all of them that like is like part of the client like right before they realize what they're going to be looking for, and then they always lose somebody. Like how many times can you lose somebody?
I know.
Like I've never been that drunk before. Like I've been pretty drunk before, but not enough to like lose somebody. Like what? Like how does that even happen, man? Like
I mean, I guess
I could see like maybe once.
See the Vegas one made sense. Like they brought him up to the roof, they forgot about him.
It would have been funny.
That's the first one.
Yeah, but also at the same time, like, why are you not like on the edge of the roof going like, yay! Like
I just feel like
I'm out here.
Everybody who saw Joker 1, it was kind of like a trick. When people came out and saw Joker 1, you didn't know what you were seeing.
Like psychologically and stuff. Like,
yeah, so you
was
didn't
like,
really know what you were getting into. But
people
then
were
at the end of the
unsure,
day,
though,
it was
going
like
into
it was almost like a Taxi Driver, King of Comedy, Martin Scorsese ripoff. And
it's interesting. Yeah, I think I see what you're saying.
Like it's not anything that people haven't thought about before when they saw the movie.
But also, I feel like it dove into
and a lot of
the more
people took it the
psychological
wrong
aspect
way.
of it, though.
They took it the wrong way. Like they were like,
but I think
I feel like this person
like
who
much different though.
The style is interesting.
Well, that's what like I think I really liked about the movie was like the style was so much different than any like Joker adaptation we've ever seen, and that's kind of why like it's not like Taxi Driver in the way that like that it was shy and like the style that they were using.
It did remind me of Taxi Driver still.
The acting
even
a
in
little
the way
bit
it was
like
shot.
the pace, well.
Because it was trying to throw back to that like old, like remember in
does kinda
Taxi
look like
Driver,
that.
like New York looks so nasty and disgusting, and you're like, bro, this dude lives in this shitty ass apartment.
Well, that's what I love about the Batman universe is that it never gives you a specified time period. It just kind of has old and new technology
I
kind
like
of
that
together.
too.
I really like that aspect
Me
of it,
too.
where you can't just
I like that
it's
in
an
any
old
film.
car, an old ass car, but it's like a really new computer, high tech computer. Or
It's
something
like
that.
something that felt vintage.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
felt vintage when you were watching it. Like you felt like,
yeah, vintage retro.
It
and
kind
all,
of felt
yeah,
like
yeah.
you were watching something older than it actually is. You're like, this came out 2019. This felt like it came out in the 70s or some shit. I love that. I think that is like such an interesting thing to do. Make a period piece, but never state the period. Make people figure it out.
Yeah.
Their own, like just by looking at like what are the cars, how are people dressing, like
The
instead of
language.
just like instead of just saying it outright, just like try to show it.
Yeah.
Because I love
yeah.
like a show, don't tell kind of thing. Like don't
Yeah,
tell me.
like don't give as much exposition.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Sergio. We're live in Quasi Studios, and we're actually just doing like a little podcast live. We just finished our commentary on the Zims, and we're kind of doing a spooky podcast. Why is it spooky, you ask? Well, because
It is. It's hot.
It's-
almost.
because we have pumpkins, and we have
Spooky.
spooky spider webs, and we have
arachnophobia.
we have. I mean, have you looked at this mug? Like, you'd be like,
Yeah,
bro.
I've been in
bro.
constant terror this whole time, by the way.
You know, and that's fine. We were actually talking about murder a little bit ago, and
I was
talking about
talking
how talking about premeditation and stuff.
Yeah.
But
It's a pretty common thing with us.
premeditation.
Murder.
Oh. Well, I was I was
Premeditation mixed with murder. That's a
Premeditated or not.
I mean, hey, it's all for the sake of storytelling.
Sudden murder,
felony. On God.
thought
Yeah.
out murder, both. We like doing both.
I mean, you learn a lot from SVU,
I have a question.
Yeah.
and you learn a lot from
They kind of
Law and Order.
did a service to us murderers. You know, showing
Yeah.
all that stuff and how it's done. I think
was
it's-
and like how to get caught, like, and that's
how to
what
get caught. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Like,
how to
what's
not
the
this is
show? World's Stupidest Criminal.
yeah, like this would be us like
epic idea right there.
we do it, and you know how people kind of tell on themselves all the time, like a little bit whenever it's like I want to tell somebody, but I can't like just outright say it.
Leaving
We're
a
ju-
calling card,
Yeah,
like,
we're-
bro,
we're-
are you stupid? Like,
Are you stupid, man? So it's great that we're just talking about this because we're an entertainment company, so it's like
You know we
we're
should
just
talk
joking
all
and
about.
writing
jokes.
at the same time.
Are there
promise.
any spooky stories that you've had in your head recently? Anything that you've come up with that is spooky? Do Do you have any like pitches or ideas?
Dude, like,
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Lay them on me, bro. I want to hear it.
well, I mean, I don't know if like spooky, but I'm a like, and I keep we talk about this every now and then, like doing this short with irrational fears, but then leading into actual fears, like things that people don't think to be afraid of, so because they're kind of afraid of the superficial thing. So like, you know, going like having like a camera go down a hallway that's dark, and then like you hear like leaking or something, and then you see like eyes kind of in the back, you know, the back of it or something. You think you see it.
It's
or
like room to fill in the blank.
Yeah. Like there was one scene that we kind of like were thinking about was, like, you know, in like a room, you see like a tree outside and it's a shadow and it looks like a person, like kind of like that, where it's kind of an irrational fear, but it kind of teeters on a real fear where people like break into houses and stuff like that, you know, but like. It always makes me think like where like people that get kidnapped or something, big issue in Mobile, like trafficking and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Been there, done that.
but
Woke up in the Dominican Republic the other day.
but so like it's like this girl going into a house like pretty distraught, hanging with a bunch of friends and stuff, and then she's in her room. And she's just sitting there kind of crying and stuff, and then she just gets taken, like snatched, like out of nowhere. Fade to black.
And
You
you
know?
had to have a certain
Like-
set of
Get her ass outta
skills
Like, yeah.
to get her back.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you
Certain set
do.
of
You, or
skills.
like, but I also have and then there's a sequel in my head that's like,
You're like
she wakes up in like this
Scottish
warehouse, and she's like, her anklet is loose or whatever. Like,
That's such a hippie
Yeah.
piece of.
Her anklet.
yeah,
She
her
trips on her anklet.
I braided
what do
it
they
too
call
long,
what do
my
they call it?
bad.
Freaking handcuffs or whatever are loose, and she gets free, right? And she's walking down this hallway, and she looks in this room, and she sees another girl, like
She also
like
has an
in a
anklet
like in a
too.
fetal position and stuff, and she looks up like through the window, and she sees her, and she's like saying, "Come follow, like kind of follow me." She's like she knows like. There's no escaping. Like she's tried. Like this
Like she's
woman's
tried this shit
distraught. Like, and she knows there's no escape. But this girl is hopeful. You know, so she's
'Cause
like
she
trying.
knew.
It's like she's got that look in her
Yeah.
eyes. There's nothing behind those eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
Skill
like,
issue.
and this girl that's hopeful that she's just she just got free of these chains and stuff. So she starts going through this warehouse, and she goes down down the stairs, and at some point you see somebody go in front of the camera. And like, wow, what the, like is somebody following her? Holy crap,
Oh,
you know,
shit.
like, and then like,
You're
then
scaring me.
she gets down, and she goes down to the floor level, and she sees this open door, right? She's like, and she just runs as fast as she can. She's almost there, dude, and that thing freaking closes on her, and then she just like takes these last couple gasps of breath while she's like backing up, like.
Bro, she got sized. Real
And then,
quick.
and then those freaking hands, bro, they come back. And now you know why that girl in that room was like, no.
She ready to go.
There's
on
no
the
escape,
destroyer.
you know?
I'm not gonna lie, that was a good spooky. That was a
like,
good spooky.
It's real, like
It is,
freaking
bro.
real
For
stuff
real.
that happens is so scary. Like,
It's a true
I get
story.
it's something that some
know.
like I don't think I will ever be kidnapped. Please
Yeah.
don't ever kidnap me. Like, please don't ever kidnap me.
Whoever's
But
watching
like,
this,
yeah,
don't
like
kidnap
don't
me.
kidnap me, please.
Specifically.
Like
please.
I don't have any money.
But I'm big. Like I will take a lot of your energy out just trying to get me to the van. Like there's no real way to lure me unless you're like, hey man, I'll make all your dreams come true. I'm like,
Horse drink.
yeah, like what do you mean, Uncle Jimmy?
Uncle Jimmy.
I'm not 7 years old anymore, man. But like,
I got all your hopes and dreams in this van.
Bro.
man. If you had free Wi-Fi, you would have got me. But dang, yeah, no, like, so what about you? Like, any spooky things that you've been thinking?
You know, there's always that idea that I've talked to y'all about like the zombie film.
Oh, dude, yeah, the
In
news
TV
station.
Yes.
The news station. Yeah, that one's
because
cool.
we were just talking about like that vintage throwback feel, and that's all I want to do. I
Yeah.
think like I love to watch things, and I watch them, and I'm like, this feels like it was from a different era, but it was made this year, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself like, no way that this was made this year. And I love those throwback kind of like movies that are also like, I'm not scared to shock people. Like I do want to like have shocking scenes where you're like, what am I watching?
Yeah,
'Cause I love that
Like
feeling.
human centipede
Yeah.
type.
Yeah, I love to
yeah.
watch something where I'm like, what am I
It arises
watching?
this crazy emotion that you're not sure how to feel, but you know you
Exactly.
feel something, and it's enticing because like you're not recognizing that feeling. Because like I like Human Centipede, dude.
I know.
Crazy movie.
Dude, I'm like,
That's weird.
and the fact is that somebody funded like 5
Two of those.
Three
or four of them,
there's like
actually.
There's
supposed
like
to be
4.
There's supposed to be a
Four of them,
few
yeah.
of them. Like
Dude,
yeah,
there
like,
was
They did
one
the
where-
second one,
There's
they were like,
one
this
where
is
they
a
were
good
all in a
idea.
Yeah.
prison,
They're like,
and
we
they
should
were
keep
all
doing
like,
this.
it showed like this
what?
like drone shot like coming out.
Yeah.
And it shows you all these people in this prison, and it's like a fucking line of human centipedes. Like, fuck yeah, I'm talking like 500
dude, it's
people.
like it's like Sharknado. Like I still have never seen Sharknado.
I have.
but
What?
like
W.
it's. Is it
Epic.
like the first
It's
one?
funny.
But is the first one good, and then the rest of them were like, well, but
all of
So
them
none
are
of them are good.
fucking amazing.
But
I
if you
love all of
like
them.
to watch things ironically,
Yes, the absurdity
Okay.
of it is what makes it
because
good.
I love that. I love to watch things ironically. Even
Yeah.
stuff that I make, I want to be a little embarrassed to show it to people. Because I
Yeah,
want to
like the
sit there.
guilty pleasures.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
sit there and be like, bro,
Well,
this
kinda
is
like
funny
hold your
to
head
me.
down, like while looking at them, like please don't judge.
because
me,
it's
man. Please
obviously
don't judge
something
me.
I find something. It's obviously something I find funny. But I'm like sitting there looking at people like, are they gonna find this funny?
Yeah.
Are they gonna think this is?
Are you one of
hilarious?
the like? Because I'm one of those people where like somebody's watching something that I've kind of like told them to watch, and I'll kind of like periodically like look at them
Yes,
like to see if
I
they're
do
reacting
that.
or something like that. It's just like, okay, have they laughed yet? I kind of laughed at this part. Did they laugh at that? Like
My
like-
problem is
Yeah.
like when I show somebody something, I'm like, okay, going in before you watch this, you got to know this, and this. And they're like, what? And I'm like, you
You
just
just
gotta
gotta
watch.
know the lore,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
but then it's like, but
I have
then
to
it's like,
explain what scene. Like I feel like I'm not good enough at like telling these stories, so
Yeah.
like I have to explain it to them before they even watch it,
yeah.
and I don't give it a chance to let them figure it out on their own. I have
But
that
but do
problem.
you have people that have like will ask you like, so what's happening? It's like, dude, I'm seeing you
Dude,
for the
I
first
get
time. This is the
that.
first time I'm seeing it with you two, bro. Like we just
my
said, this is
God.
a new movie that just came out tonight. Why you asking me the plot line, bro? Like what's going on?
I've had
I
that
hate
happen
that.
before, but I think it's just because like there's been times where I've been so locked into a movie, like I'm going to see with my friends, I'm locked in, bro. I'm just staring at the screen. And I know that they aren't really doing the same thing. They're over there like shoving popcorn in their face and they're like, did you see that?
Whoa, what was?
But I feel like that everybody has a friend who sits in a theater and they're like, what's happening right now?
like, bro,
What's going on right now?
watch.
That happens a lot, bro.
Your
I feel
eyes.
like one time me and you were in the theater and we were watching The Holdovers. And you leaned over to me. I swear to God, you said, "Is this supposed to be like the 1970s?" And I was like, "Bro, no way. There's no way you just said that."
Guilty.
You know, but
guilty.
there is always those like those things where it's like you let yourself get ahead of the story because it is a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes, and you're just like, man, I want to know more, but then it's like, do I have the patience for it?
Have you seen anything recently that has stood out to you? Like anything in the theater or at home?
Well, let's talk about that when we come back. We're gonna go to commercial
Okay.
right here. But I'm with Parker Gottney and Carson Robertson. Carson Robertson, of course, is one of our directors, writers, camera ops, and just all around good guy. He's also our CAO, Chief Administrative Officer for All This Entertainment, and we're gonna be right back. We're gonna talk a little bit to Parker when we come back about just his experience with us as All This Entertainment, because he worked with us on the Zombies in the Mist, and he's been on like we've been planning on doing a couple things with you. We just gotta execute. 2024, lock in, lock down.
Locked in.
But yeah, so
We'll be right back.
we'll be right back after these messages, and hope you enjoy it because there's some good stuff coming soon. So we'll be right back.
It's a nice little thing that All This Entertainment put together, y'all. That's who really need to be given a round of applause to. Sergio and the crew over there working hard to make this production happen. It doesn't just happen, you know?
And I might not feel this way. And are you listening to me whisper? whistling a tune while I'm still here passing through. I just wondered if I could wander around with you.
Everybody here, there's just so much talent in the room. And this song I'm about to do is called Frankincense. And we just released a visual for this one that was shot by All This Entertainment and Quasi Studios. So y'all can go on their Instagram page or my Instagram page to see that. But if you think this set is something, then you should see that video. They do wonderful work. So all artists should just definitely tap in with them. But yeah, let's go. This is Frankincense.
Whatever is true is true, it's just whatever's lovely. And whatever is noble of good report or is praiseworthy. Meditate on these things and never focus on the contrary.
Mine.
It's lovely. Dude, India,
That shit was stuck in
India's
my
the
head for a
stuff,
little
man.
bit, I'm
Like,
not
she's
gonna lie.
got some great songs.
She is
Y'all
something
haven't
else.
got a chance to go ahead and check out India Rashad. Check out IndiaRashad.com and on Spotify.
www.
You can check out some of her content on our All the Studios page on YouTube. She did Frankincense and Gold with us, just a little music promo. We're actually going to do a third one, which is the finalization of her promo thing that she wanted to do, which is Gold, Frankincense, and Myrrh. So it's she's a neo-gospel artist, so she does a lot of like love, inspiration, like very, very nicely, lyrically pleasing melodies, and so go check her out, India Rashad. So hey, what's up? We're live inside of Quasi Studios and All This Entertainment, and I'm with Carson Robertson and Parker Gottney.
Yo, that's me. I'm Parker. This is Carson.
I'm Carson.
I'm Parson.
Y'all have
Mrs.
changed
Carter.
so much.
I know, bro.
like that light as it came down off and turned back
It's
on.
like looking in a mirror, like a really fucked up, dirty, broken mirror.
Someone's eyes like slooped a little bit too much. I'm not telling you who.
It's you. That's hearsay.
Hearsay.
You stay here now.
Hear essay.
USA.
Heresy.
Heresy. USA sounds a lot like heresy. Interesting. Interesting connection.
See, when you throw a rock into a crowd, you're bound to hit somebody with a pitchfork.
Bro, that's that mob mentality.
Yeah. That's like the 87% of my statistics are real.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Dude, so Parker, actually, so we were talking about before, what was your question? You'd asked the question, it was, you just asked a spooky question,
Ooh.
and then you just asked another question right before we went to break.
I think I was asking, have you seen anything recently?
Have I seen anything recently?
Yeah, that you thought was like worth mentioning.
I mean, I'll just mention it because I support his filmmaking,
Mm-hmm.
but it's god awful sometimes. M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah, like
Trapped, dude.
So Trapped. Like, have y'all seen Trapped?
Yes, I have.
Okay, spoilers. All right, so I like movies that are psychological and they're pretty intentional about how they're like going about the writing aspect and how they're visually telling the story and stuff, or like through dialogue or whatever. But like, whenever you watch a movie or like hear a song and you're like, it feels like they're trying too hard to make it this thing.
That's the try hard
and
movie.
it
of
does,
the
dude.
year.
It tries so hard to be psychological, but there's just something that's just disconnected in the beginning that just is a theme throughout the rest of the movie. That just
For me, it was his daughter, bro.
yeah.
I just couldn't. I couldn't with the nepotism.
Mhm.
I couldn't sit there and be like, oh, she's a great actor.
She is.
She was not, bro. I thought there was scenes where she was literally taking me out of the movie. And it wasn't her singing. Like, she was the pop star. It wasn't any of her singing, but it was the scenes where she actually had to start acting.
Yeah.
Like, remember when she was in the bathroom?
I don't know. Like,
I just couldn't.
I
bro.
see
It
what you're
took me
saying,
out.
because it took me a second to like get there.
Mm-hmm.
But like, she really is she was, I feel like as an artist, she disconnected well enough to where it's like she did seem fake. I think she portrayed
She
that
did
very
seem
well.
fake.
Like it was on like.
But is that what they wanted? Is
But
that
like,
what they
well,
wanted
like,
from the movie?
well, you kind of broke it. You kind of broke her down a little bit from the artist to like the person that's looking in her phone all the time, and she shows a little bit of compassion every now and then. Like it kind of spurts in there when it sees her and stuff. You see her, but then she also like is pretty absorbed in her phone and stuff.
Yeah.
But then so like at the end, it kind of shows that mixture of like how when she pays attention, she pays attention. But like when
And she
she's
can use the phone
disconnected,
to
she's
her
disconnected.
advantage,
Yeah,
too.
she really is. It's like she was very like, it's interesting how smart she was. Like it, there was no story to tell why she understood how to do what she did. You know, and I feel like there was a little bit of lack of storytelling on that aspect of it, where it didn't go into her at all. It just like she knew to call the police.
I
She knew
kinda
to grab the
wish-
phone. She knew to like.
I wish Josh Hartnett was in more things, to be honest.
He's a good
with you.
actor.
He was great.
Pearl
bro.
Harbor is a
It's
one
some
I always
notes.
think about.
Yeah.
Like,
And
a
that's
good
what I
one.
remember him from the most.
Yeah,
Because I
Pearl
remember
Harbor.
him being in that.
He was in Black
was
Hawk
also-
Down too.
Oh,
That's what
Black
he
Hawk
was in.
Down.
He was in
Yeah,
Black
I
Hawk
like that
Down.
one.
Yeah,
He
that
was
was a
in like
good
some
one.
teen movie too. It was like one of these like I cannot remember the name of this movie, bro. It had Josh Hartnett. He was
in a 40
remember when
Days
he
and
was
40
in-
Nights.
Did you? Yes,
40
bro,
Days
the
and 40
vampire movie.
No, that's
What's
no,
that
that's a
one?
rom com.
What's the
40 Days
one?
and 40
Forty
Nights.
Days, yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What's the vampire movie he did? 30
He
Days a
did
Night.
what-
I thought it
yeah,
was like,
30 Days a Night. 30
Yeah.
Days a Night. The Alaska one. It was in Alaska.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
That was a fire movie.
very, very, very like good take on like an Alaskan thing. Although, if they have that once a year,
Mm-hmm.
my thing is like, have they never encountered vampires before? Like that was kind
I
of
was
my
thinking
thing as
that
far as
too,
the
I
storytelling.
think.
I'm just like, so this has never happened in the history of y'all being once a year.
Well, have you ever
every
noticed
single,
that
you know-
some movies really want you to pay attention to the story they're telling, and then some
Yeah.
movies do not care.
Yeah.
They don't care if you're paying attention. They just want you to like be
be
stimulated.
fun? Yeah, like it's
like,
frills and
"Oh,
thrills.
I'm having a great time at the movie theater.
That's
but
what
some
I-
movies are not like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like
That's
they
what I
are
feel like. Not the Rise of Skywalker is the one before that. The one
Rise
that
of
was-
Skywalker was hard to watch.
Yeah, it was.
That
It was
brutal.
like
The
it
whole,
made.
that whole trilogy was hard.
I went and
to
saw
watch.
that with my
the
buddy.
first
we
one
were
was
tripping.
like the first one was
Oh my
just
God, it was
was
bad.
just the first one was just A New Hope mixed in with Empire.
Exactly.
Like it was just the same.
like
It was
a-
the same movie.
It's like I'm sick of seeing movies that feel like the best of moments
Yeah.
of something else.
Yeah.
That I've already seen, that I'm like, okay, I've already seen this, and you're just repackaging it.
Yeah,
Like,
and you're
I
kind
don't
of
know
like
if you
already
saw-
telling yourself the story as it's going, but you somehow convince yourself to stay because the CGI or the effects
Yes,
are
or
really
you're
good.
like, oh, this looks cool, but is what I'm seeing anything new?
I think
Did I
yeah.
see anything
people.
new?
I think filmmakers and a lot of studios that have a lot of money
Mm-hmm.
to dispose, they focus really hard on like the
IP.
visual effects.
I think they focus on IP.
They rely on the visual effects.
what
The
worked
IP, yes,
in the
but
past, and it works now.
yeah, but
Like,
but the
What
CGI they
can
really
like,
rely
I
on.
show
that.
to you?
Yeah, I
instead
feel
of
what you're
being,
saying.
Like if I showed you something and you were like, "Oh, I've seen that before," would it incline you more to watch something new with something that you've already seen?
Something new, but also it's nice to have familiarity.
Yeah.
But I think I
agree.
think I think it's the lack of like realism that they put into movies nowadays. Like everything is either like I feel like sometimes the camera work is too beautiful to tell the story correctly. You know,
I agree
like
too.
like I love Everything and Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, yeah.
Great movie.
That
I
was
love
awesome.
certain like
That was
shots.
really
Like there was a shot with the gun
Yeah.
when they like turned around and it, like brought
I
it up.
remember.
Yeah.
Great shot. But also there's parts of it where I'm like, I feel like they're trying too hard. You
I
know,
thought they
you
were
know,
trying
like-
a little hard.
but
too.
but it still looked great. But like
it
it's
was
just
a beautiful movie, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like in anything you lean so far one way, you lean so far the other. You know what I mean? And so when you're leaning to make like some crazy art house movie, you're gonna go that way, and it's hard to find a middle ground or between like a blockbuster and an art house movie. Yeah, but when you do find middle grounds, like Everything Everywhere All at Once, I like that movie so much because it feels that middle ground. Like it felt like somebody was trying to make something art housey, but they were also taking consider like, is the person who's watching this movie right now having a good time? Like it doesn't all have to be like so like like pretentious and shit.
I think
like,
you can kind of tell though, like when the crew really had a good time. and
Yeah, I think
everything,
you
like,
can
you
too.
can really tell.
I think
Yeah.
you can too.
When someone's
Especially during
having
the
fun.
fighting scenes, like
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
Oh, yeah.
and I love the different scene changes when the heads moving or like they're
Like
doing
you can
something,
tell, like Dune Part 2 was fucking fun.
I still haven't still haven't
That
watched
was
it
off
yet.
the chain.
That
Yeah.
movie
That's
was-
probably one of my favorites this
Sickest
year. My
movie.
favorite movies I've
Nice.
seen this year are Late Night with the Devil. I don't know if you've seen that. That fucking blew my mind, dude.
Mhm.
And then The Substance. The Substance with Demi Moore.
I haven't seen that
Yeah, I
one.
haven't seen it yet, but
Oh
I've seen the
my
commercials and
fucking
they look
God.
they look really
You want to talk
really
about
good.
something like completely just like out there? Like they just threw everything.
Well,
in
you
the
know, I
kitchen
feel like
sink.
that's the dive into the psychological. Like, I think that's what Joker did for a lot of storytellers. They're like, oh, we can go there now, and I feel like that opened up a door. Like Black Swan was another one of those where they
Love that
took
movie.
the storytelling from the perspective of like a dancer or like like it's not as fanatical as like Benjamin Button, but it still has that story aspect of like you understood her story as a dancer, but then it was a different story where it's like you understand like not just the sexuality of it, but like it turns around and is like, this is my passion, this is my fire, this is the only thing I have in my life.
This is my whole
Yeah,
life. This is
yeah,
me.
this is all I am, and then like that's
And how
sometimes
far
what
you're willing to go
Yeah, and that's something like you feel
do
like with
that.
people sometimes, where like how much of myself am I going to put into this because I've done it so many times and lost so much of myself. Like I don't know, like I love storytelling. Like I'm glad that people are accessing like the psychological part of their side, not being so afraid of themselves.
I
as
love
much. Like,
anything psychological. Like
Yeah.
I love that's like the kind of movies I kind of want to make.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like I've always had this obsession with being hypnotized. Like when you watch something and you get hypnotized.
yeah, like you forget you're watching it, but you know you're watching it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that is coming back. I think there's a lot of filmmakers out there taking big swings. Like if you see The Substance, I would recommend that to
I'm
everybody.
gonna watch it. Yeah.
But that movie was something else. I'm telling you, I was like, holy crap! Like this is what filmmaking can be. Because I like to be challenged when I watch something.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit there and see something I've seen 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But I like to watch something where I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
Because I love that. I think that's like a very unique feeling that a lot of people don't get unless you watch something crazy. And then everybody's out there talking about it. They're like, oh, we just saw something crazy. And everybody's talking about it. It's all over the internet. And it's like, I saw it too. That shit was crazy. That person did something so bold and out there. And they were so themselves when they did it that it just stands out amongst everything. And I love films like that. I love paintings like that. I love artists like that.
Something that just shocked, like you were saying before, shocking.
I like
Like the shocks,
something
the
shocking.
shocks.
Yeah. I
which is art. It gives an emotion that, regardless of how it makes you feel, angry, mad, like pissed off, whatever, happy, lovey-dovey,
it's not even
beautiful,
just film.
like
It's not it's not even just TV. It's like paintings, bro.
Yeah.
Like I've seen paintings where I was like, what in the world? This is something. Whoever made this was either high or really fucking out of their mind when they did this.
that's why I love Escher.
I
Escher's
love that, bro.
like
I
that.
love seeing stuff like that. It's just something, to me, it's so unique.
A lot of these people have
because it
mental
feels
illnesses.
unique. It feels like people just throwing what they have out there and just being like, whatever.
Yeah.
If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
And we're gonna dive a little bit into that like in a second, because like I mean we enjoy like creating stuff that with that mental health aspect of it, and like we were pretty cognitive about it with going into Zombies in the Mist, so we were gonna talk about that next, because Parker was one of the PAs on Zombies in the Mist, and
Loved it.
Yeah, we're going
And,
to talk about your first time on.
I would
on
love
set.
to.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd love to talk about that.
Cool. Well, we appreciate y'all sticking around, and you're probably like, what the F am I watching right now? Like, so
Late
hey,
nights.
stick around. Why am I watching this? But
It
stick
may be
around.
haunted in here.
Well,
There may
stick
be
around,
something
and we'll
going
be
on.
right back, and we'll talk more about it when we come back.
friends for holding hands. Trying to make plans, but you play. And I like it, and I like it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it. Oh, and I like it, yeah, yeah.
Whether I'm on the north side with my tank on me, whether I'm on the south side with that bank on me, either way I'm riding around with his grace on me. Ooh, 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 yeah.
There's too many hearts shattered in my name. I've burned bridges and walked away. Not this time, not here, not today. And are you listening to me whistling a tune while I'm still here passing through? 'Cause I just wonder if I could wander around with you. And I just wondered if I could wonder about you. Did they rest?
Like you weren't just on the ground because you were acting. You were on the ground because we beat the shit out of you. Like, sweet. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for the ATE podcast on YouTube. All this studios. Thank you very much. Oh, this is the offbeat. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, non-binary and binary, for joining us today
Welcome to
on
Beat-
the
Beat
podcast.
Off. Welcome to Beat Off.
Welcome.
Off
Welcome
beat.
back.
Oh,
beat.
sorry. Beating
Beat off.
beating off.
Beat off. It sounds like that sounds like something that would be at
Legally?
that Diddy party, bro.
I feel like we could, but
Diddy
like
featured
we'd
on-
have to give a
Yo,
real
let's
good
invite
reason
Diddy on
why
the
we
podcast.
actually called it that.
Dream podcast guest.
Can we get P Diddy on the podcast?
Well, you know,
We got P
but
Diddy in the
that
crowd.
is true. That is.
Tonight. There she is.
Can I have some baby oil?
Yo, Savannah, pass the baby
You know,
oil. I mean,
like, are y'all surprised about all this stuff that's like coming out in the news? Like, not even just about
Not
P
at
Diddy,
all.
but in
No.
general. Like, are you really surprised anymore?
No.
Like,
It had
I'm
been
kind of
like-
disappointed than anything. Like, I kind of expect it to happen, but I'm disappointed
Guys,
that it is.
we were getting spoilers
like,
for like
it's kinda
10
how I
years
feel.
about P Diddy.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. For 10 straight years, we were getting spoilers on what he was doing.
I think
from
people
several
spend too
people.
much
Come
time on
on.
their phone, bro.
And we
They
just
spend
kind of-
too
we
much
just chose
time
to ignore
looking
it.
at news.
Yeah.
People spend too much time looking at that shit.
Rather than making news, jumping off the top of a
On
building,
God,
bro,
do something,
with
bro.
a parachute.
Bro,
On
stop talking about
God.
Liam Payne like that, bro.
But seriously, people like, I know people even in my family who are like, that's all they do is watch the news. And it's like,
They get so
this cannot
mad.
be your existence.
Why are you so mad?
You cannot base your whole
are you screaming
personality
at the
off
TV?
of.
My grandma watches Fox. Like, she watches the soaps in the morning. She watches the news. She watches
Young
the
and the
soaps.
Restless.
She watches the soaps in the afternoon. She watches Fox News, and she's smoking weed the whole time. Like
Oh.
not. I'm
Me
not
and your
downing
grandma
it.
maybe get
I'm not.
along.
I'm not
We
down
may
on
get
it.
along,
Like I'm not downing it. But she like, she'll also tell me, as a sister in Christ and as your grandmother, I feel it's important for me to tell you that Ephesians tells me it's okay that I tell you that you should lose weight. And I'm like, Grandma, like let me talk about
Grandma,
some
I'm a
things.
sinner.
Let me talk about love, Grandma.
Agreed.
I felt none from that moment right there, as you said that. Like, you know that dude on YouTube, the brother God, COVID-19,
Yeah.
that guy.
Oh my
At that moment, that's what I felt from her. I was like, Grandma, that. Like, I didn't feel God in that at all. Like,
man.
I felt like a preacher that was yelling at me, that was telling me that I was gonna go to hell if I didn't turn or burn. And I'm like, but man, I learned what burn means, and that doesn't sound too bad.
Oh my
Like,
God,
you know what I'm
man.
saying? Like,
I'm not gonna let you define me, Grandma. Fuck.
It's not a
just
Like, it
kidding.
sounds exactly like who I am, but Dad,
Grandma, give me a Lunchable.
stop making me look in the mirror,
Shut
Grandma.
up, Grandma.
No, that's brutal though. I know
Transformer.
exactly what you mean. Though.
But there was truth in what she said, so it's like I can't like. I'm
Yeah.
only pissed off
But
because
the
I
thing
knew
is
that there was
she-
truth in it.
There was truth in it, but she used something else to base it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like rather than her saying like, listen,
just being straight up with you,
listen,
she had to have
grandson,
a
I know
reason.
I'm being a dick right now, but you need to lose some weight. Like,
Grandma.
okay, thanks, Grandma.
Oh,
wow.
Grandma, are you listening
Like-
Using
right now?
God like,
Yeah, I felt
as a
yeah,
catalyst for it. It's
yeah.
like,
It's like I really felt some love from that. Like that took some balls to be like, I know I'm a dick. Okay, cool. You acknowledge this. You're fat. Whoa.
Whoa,
I
really?
know this, but you approached it in such a way that I'm like, thank you. Like Jesus.
Grandma,
I needed to
bro,
hear
Grandma
this.
is savage.
Thanks,
she needs
Grandma.
to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
I would
Grandma
love to
stand on
interview her.
business for real.
She does, dude.
Grandma
She is
standing
not
on
playing.
business.
Now there was actually her birthday a couple
She come
days
out
ago. Happy
swinging.
birthday, Grandma.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, Grandma.
Happy B-Day.
bro. That's fucking hilarious.
Bro.
I can't believe she said that. Oh,
Anyway,
God.
Yeah, but no, like, yeah. So we were before we went to
What were we
break,
talking about before?
we were gonna
Grandma.
talk about kind of like your experience with like on Zombies in the Mist and like kind of what you thought about coming in like as not just PA but doing lighting with Austin and Eric and kind of like seeing behind the scenes, seeing the cameras and all that
I would
stuff.
say it was like definitely a learning experience. It was something where like you could see the potential. That was the biggest thing. You could see the potential in what we were doing and what we were talking about and just like the small moments. There were small moments that stuck with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even us just trying to like after we had wrapped filming and we were like, oh, we got to do this stuff for this educational video.
Stuff, yeah.
And I was like, this is hands-on. This is like, that's what it's about, bro. Just being hands-on with what you're doing right in the moment. And then you get in this flow state. I know it's weird to like kind of say, but
locked in.
But like you do get in like a flow state where ideas are just spitting. They're just kind of going. You know what I mean?
I feel like you're describing an exact job description of a prostitute.
It could be.
Like,
when you get in the flow
Yeah,
state,
when you get in the
just
flow
keep
state,
spinning.
it's
But
like-
I'm being serious
Yeah.
though.
You gotta
There
keep
is like a
sucking.
point. There was like a point where like we were sitting there and we were just all talking. And I was just like, we're doing this, bro.
Mhm.
Like we're having such a good time. And that was my biggest takeaway was just how much fun we had, bro.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel like nobody didn't want to be there. It
Mhm.
felt like we were all just kind of having like a fun time.
It's like the Hulk. I never want to be anywhere.
Oh, God.
Like, yeah.
I just feel like, and just seeing, I learned a lot from Austin, to be honest.
Nice. Good.
He-
Shout out Austin.
He showed me a
Shout out
lot.
Bernsey.
Because
Hey, you just gave his name
just
away.
even like when you're filming something, it's hard to see what it's gonna look like in the edit, you know, because you've filmed so many takes. And you're like,
Mhm.
what's
Yeah.
the best take? But when you're in the moment, you know, like I know what the best take was. Like there was a lot of times where I felt
Yeah.
that way,
Mhm.
where I was like, that
That
was
was
good.
it. That was the
that was
one right
it.
there.
Yeah.
Like when we filmed it, and we'd always do a safety, which I liked. I liked that a lot. It reminded me of there's this movie. It's called Ed Wood, and it's
Oh,
about
I
this
remember
like you would love it, Sergio, bro. It's a Tim Burton movie, and he was like, let's just do another shot for insurance. Let's just do
Yeah.
another one
Safety,
because
yeah.
it is good to do that, and just the way y'all interact
Yeah.
with each other, I can feel like we got something going.
Yeah.
Like we are gonna do something big, for sure, because just even the way like this, like I was having so much fun even watching this. That was so much fun to make, and I don't think people realize like our short film. It took like what?
We shot
3,
in
4
4 days.
days?
We shot in 4 days.
That's
yeah.
pretty like, come on y'all, like
Yeah.
come on. That was pretty good, bro. For
Yeah,
yeah,
4
no,
days.
yeah.
Imagine we get
16
2
minutes
weeks.
for like yeah.
Imagine we take 2 weeks, or we take a week and a half.
Imagine
Like there's no telling
a
what we
whole
can make.
month of
Yeah.
shooting something.
And that's why I mean like the
With
potential,
locations and stuff.
the potential of
yeah.
all of it, everything. Like I was even like brainstorming my own ideas about like Zombies in the Mist and what it could be, you know, like sitting there in my fucking apartment like.
And so
What could
it's
this
that's
be?
why I feel like what's really cool about just in general, like, is what you experience is what we're trying to do, like in a whole, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like inclusiveness of people that are wanting to do it,
Mhm.
or already doing it, or just like want people to work with to do it. And then there are always people that are like, man, I didn't know that this was possible, but like, I'm glad that there's now an opportunity to do so.
It's the potential, dude.
Yeah, and like I think it's very important to like recognize too that like, at least for me, it feels like the beginning of what like Austin or like Los Angeles or New York or whatever were before they
really is,
started
yeah.
like before they started like getting big into entertainment. Like
I'm telling
people
you,
putting
if
things
we
together
keep-
and
If we keep doing these shorts like we are, they are gonna get somewhere, bro.
Yeah.
Because Zombies in the Mist had what, 11,000 views on
so
YouTube.
far, yeah,
So
that's
far,
like we're
That's
hoping for a
impressive.
million.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's just, bro.
But that's like one of the first. Like,
I'll take it.
things that
I'll
we're
even take
putting
it
out
back.
there,
Like,
you know?
remember, like those
The
we
one of-
summoned.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Those we summoned. That was
that's sitting
pretty
at
fun.
4,000.
That was
views, I
fun.
think.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
That so
Nice.
we've all you see is a constant increase.
Yeah.
In viewership. You see a
And that was
const-
posted on my channel, so it wasn't even like on that.
These are things I don't think y'all realize. Like we
Channel.
put effort into it, but like we weren't doing like 2 weeks at a time, or a week and a half.
Yeah.
We could, and I feel like we can make something fucking crazy, dude. Something awesome because just seeing the way things are going now, like I think something
I think-
could be made that is very insane.
Yeah,
to
I think
be
the
honest.
greatest thing about like our group as especially is like, and it's something I see on other productions and sets, but is like when we're doing a shot and we're conversing and we're talking about it, we all understand what we want it to look like. We all we all see the same image generally, and when we picture it,
Yeah.
and
I feel a camaraderie.
yeah,
That's what it is.
and we're able to come up with ideas together.
you
It's
call
not
me a
just
comrade?
it's not just like one person's idea, it's like a culmination of all of our ideas.
I
when we
felt
throw
that
in
way, too.
ideas for a specific shot, like, hey, let's actually go do that because that's a good idea.
Every
Because we all
time-
see it.
Dude, every time I hear the word culmination, I think of you've seen that movie American Pie.
yeah.
When the coach is yelling, "This is the culmination of your experience," and the coach is like, "Culmination." And like every time I hear that word, it just shoots me back to that scene.
American
Culmination.
Pie,
Sorry.
bro.
Yeah, culminations. I mean,
whoa.
Manifest Destiny.
Isn't that?
Prosti-
Yeah,
what?
that's
No.
what the U.S. does.
I have this interesting
Combinations.
theory that like Manifest Destiny was the name of a prostitute that all the politicians at that time were using, which is why they were able to just like quickly decide.
It's
what
like
they're
a
gonna call
secret
it.
password.
Yeah,
you
like-
say.
yeah, exactly.
Like, you like manifest destiny.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Grid.
this meeting-
Going west, right?
You're
Yeah,
in.
we're going west. Yeah, of course, man.
I just manifested some destiny yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
And we're gonna
up?
manifest destiny right to the commercials here, going out west. Except we're not gonna drive people off their land. We're just gonna take up airtime. So we appreciate y'all sticking around, and we're gonna go to commercial. And yeah.
We'll roll all day till it's after dark. We can groove if you wanna. We can move if you wanna. If you've got time.
Somebody better tell him, yeah, gon' tell him that I'm a beast. Yeah. Somebody better tell him, but somebody better tell him I'm a beast. Yeah. Somebody better tell him, yeah, gon' tell him that I'm a. I came to bring the pain and spit flame. I came to bring the pain and spit flame. I came to bring the pain and spit flame. And I show me lane that the game about to change. I came to bring the pain and spit flame. I came to bring the pain and spit flame. I came to bring the pain and spit flame. And I show me lane that the game about to change.
Lord, I'm feeling no pain. But that's a lie. I'm feeling kind of vain. It's kind of funny, but it's kind of true. I'm feeling blue.
We ran the roads all day while you slept the miles away. And when night rolled around, you'd kiss my fears away.
I was missing the days when things weren't so bad. This was more of a life we were destined to have. My heart can't relax. It's needles and pins, and I wanna be that kid again.
No, man. We appreciate you coming back, hanging out. If you came back or just tuning in, I'm Sergio. This is Carson. This is Logan.
P-Dog.
That's his middle name.
Hello.
Logan, man.
Logan, man.
PL.
Wolverine.
Oh, PLG. The
PLG.
PG.
PG-13.
So we appreciate
Require
it.
parental guidance.
So we were talking a little bit about Zombies in the Mist and just like talking about stories and different movies that like kind of influence some of the things we talk about, and especially nowadays in the, inside of like actual modern filmmaking, how it's evolved from just because like you were talking about Taxi Driver, and I feel like Taxi Driver was very young in the psychological aspect that it didn't know how to really tell the story yet. You know, like
it was angsty.
It was very angsty. Yeah, like I love the color grade on it though. Like,
Yeah.
and it was like it was dirty, and like
Yeah,
like you
I
were
love
saying, it
that.
was very dirty and
Well,
like.
I mean, it was kind of
and-
like, it wasn't really his first time making a movie, Tarantino, but like,
Oh, that was
Scorsese.
or
Scorsese.
Scorsese, sorry,
Yeah.
my bad.
I think he'd only made like one or two
Oh,
films
it was
before
Scorsese,
that.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there was, like,
but
he
it was
was
very
putting-
He had
young.
made
Yeah.
like this documentary called Italian American, and then he had made Mean Streets, which was if you haven't seen Mean Streets, you got to watch that shit. It's great. And then he made Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
And so it was like maybe like his second, third movie,
Mm.
and you could feel the angst, bro. You could feel like the suffering.
See, and that's kind of like I love his storytelling because he lingers.
Mm.
And that's why I feel like a lot of like storytelling can be found in the lingering when it comes
I think
to how
even in Zombies in the Mist, it lingers.
yeah,
There's
I know
parts where it lingers.
I love that.
Where there's like the whole scene of like Dre like screaming at Carson or Connor, and it was just like something else, bro. Like that was you could feel kind of like the desperation for a sec. I love that,
Yeah.
and I feel like that was one of the scenes I saw in the short film where I was like, okay, something was clicking here. We were clicking right here, and there was like even specific shots where I was like, we were cooking, we were cooking, dude. And I don't know, it was such a good time making it. I feel like we've learned so much since then. Like this is April, you know? Like I went to Sidewalk in Birmingham and I got to see like all these like indie movies and stuff and all these shorts. And I'm watching this stuff and I'm like, bro, this is something we could be doing. Like the Alabama narrative shorts, that was something right up our alley. Like some of those shorts I was like, damn. This is just like what we made with Zombies in the Mist.
Yeah.
And
Like
just
same quality and everything.
same quality, same like, and those like people were like, I saw the Alabama narrative shorts in a crowd of almost like 200 people.
Oh, nice.
And so it was like a bunch of people like watching it, eyes on it all weekend. Like they're like promoting yourself all weekend.
Yeah.
And I could see us doing this, bro. I could see it. I could see like it coming to fruition because of just how creative we all are when we get around each other. Like just making Zombies in the Mist, that was a breeze. That felt like a breeze. Now, I wasn't really around for the editing part, which I wish I was able to more. But
That's
kinda-
okay, man.
I
Another
kind of
cuero.
left it to him, Mike. He was doing a great job. But it was...
We both
It's
did.
interesting that you went to an Australian accent just then.
Sorry, Mike.
Like, like I was like, I wonder what the thought process was. Is like, jump into it, jump into it, mate.
But I just feel like we just got to keep working.
Yeah, bro, definitely.
And I think I would like to hear other people's ideas of people who are even just watching this.
Yeah,
Like, submit an idea to us. Let us hear what you have to offer. Because, like, it could be worth your time, for real. Because, like, that was just something... Y'all made Zombies in the Mist off of something that was just a photo. Like for a minute, it was a photo of the dude in like the mist. There was like the guy,
Yeah.
and there was the footage of the guy walking
the little
around.
mist thing that I made.
And
yeah.
y'all turned it into a whole fucking short film.
Mhm.
And it could
what
be
it
as
starts
simple
from, yeah.
as that.
Yeah.
And it could always be as simple as that.
Oh yeah. No, I feel like I'm glad it's nice to hear it because like I've been doing stuff since like 2016.
I
So
know.
it's like one of those things like I see it little by little all the time. So it's nice to like hear it and stuff like because when people can start seeing it and experiencing it, that's when it's like for me that's success. Where it's like
Like I've learned more probably just doing this than short films or going to film school would ever help me. You know what I mean? Because I'm hands on.
Yeah,
We're
that's
all
really how you
sitting
gotta
there.
do it.
so
I'm
we'd like
here,
to get to a
like,
point where we can work with the colleges and stuff. To
We're right here.
have a hands-on experience like that. Like
And
that
like
would be.
you're giving me access to equipment that I've never used, and I'm learning, bro. I'm like learning this stuff, and it's making me be able to like think of shot compositions easier in my head, and what we're doing easier in my head.
Framing it like
Yeah.
while you're writing or something
Because
like that. Like
I get it now. Like I kind of get it. Like I'm starting to like, but that would have never happened if we would have never like kept going. Because we could have stopped after Those We Summon. We could have been like, oh, Those We Summon. It didn't turn out how we wanted, but we're just gonna stop making short
I
films.
mean, it wasn't. I don't think Those We Summon was bad.
I don't
by
think
any
it is
chance
either.
Like,
I think literally,
No.
I think the
both
second
projects that
half.
we've had were like both really solid projects.
oh, definitely.
I think
we
so
learned
too.
a lot in both of those.
Yeah,
And they're
that's
both
that's
horror.
the point. Like
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
huge
I
I'm
love
a,
it.
I'm a huge advocate for doing what we set out to do.
Mm.
Those We Summon did what it was set out to do, which is be finished before the competition that
scramble.
it was
Yeah.
for the scramble, and like
Not perfect,
but it was again learned processes. Like I watched Noah a lot while he was doing the film work, which is I applied a lot to that from what I saw to Zombies in the Mist. So I was
That
I was
brother
like,
Noah
kinda
is
like-
something else. He's pretty good.
Like he's got, dude. I love his lighting technique
I
that he
do
did
too.
on Those We Summon, and like I wish I would have seen you more behind the camera because you had. I like the work you did because there was like the shakiness of whenever Austin was doing the. Oh,
That was
Jacob!
post effects.
but I mean like you're shaking. No, like the shaking in the camera, like the actual like handheld, like rather than just it straight
Yeah, it
on. Like
wasn't as shaky. As
yeah,
it
but I
looked.
liked like what you did to it because.
Oh yeah.
You know, and like that's what I was telling Austin whenever he did the shakiness whenever you were walking down the street. It's like don't be afraid to go in and out and stuff. Like, 'cause I love that style of music videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And like that's what I was thinking when all that was going on.
Mhm.
And then like especially like those floor shots. Like I love putting the camera on the floor. It's like because Austin was running the camera that night, so like we had kind of like going back and forth, and like he was like we should do that shot like we did in the Late Night Coffee, and he was like holding. I was like, no, put it on the ground. Put it on the ground.
Put it on the ground.
Like, cause the ground.
Also,
shots,
if you haven't seen Those We Summon, watch it. Watch.
It's on
that.
my YouTube channel.
It
We
is
might
something else.
we re-edit and put it on All This Entertainment. Yeah.
Yes.
It's in a current
remastering it.
remaster, but it's like I'm telling you, there's a
Post-production
part
help.
where it switches. You go into the apartment, and everything we shot in the apartment, everybody was like, we were clicking.
Yeah.
It was just free flow.
I like the
it's-
apartment. Like I think even the apartment part is like a standalone thing.
I think it is
Like
too.
it's definitely like especially like that can be like one of those ones where like he's walking and it like goes to flashbacks and shit like that kind of is kind of like what I think about when I think about Those Who Summon and like doing
I see it the same
Yeah, it's
exact
cool.
way, bro. Because
cool.
the apartment scenes is worth building off of just
Yeah.
alone.
oh definitely
But I feel like we've just done so much, and we got to keep going. Like we're gonna keep going, bro. This
Yeah.
ain't the train is not stopping. We're gonna keep rolling on.
it's gonna be like the momentum of the
check,
train
check.
that's pushing
Somebody
we
likes
put those
trains.
logs in there like in Back to the Future where
Yeah.
each one makes it go faster and faster, makes the coals burn
Yes.
hotter and hotter. So it goes really, really freaking fast, and then we go
Yeah, we
off
gotta add
we go off
coals
the
to our
rails
fire.
because like obviously one of us has got to develop a really bad drug habit, and then somebody has
Too
got to
late.
like get really in competition. There's got to be somebody that like steals all the ideas and stuff, and then
When
like,
this
brings
baby
it to
hits
their
80
own
miles
thing.
per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
You're gonna go
And then we're
Bananas.
gonna turn a train into a time machine, and that's the goal, ladies
That's
and
the goal,
gentlemen.
bro.
Yeah.
We are locked in. Follow all this entertainment. There is new stuff coming. We are locked in. All of us. We're gonna keep going.
More
keep
projects to
giving.
come soon.
So what is coming? I know we're probably gonna
Me,
go over time on
right
this one,
now.
but what is so like we were talking last night about doing a show that Carson's been working on for the last couple of years
I know
and
exactly
stuff, and
what
like
it
diving
is.
into it,
Here, I'm gonna let you speak. I'll be
and
right
then
back. I'm be right
so like doing that one, like writing that throughout like the next few months while still doing other short films as well, so we can keep honing our crafts and get better at the storytelling aspect and the filmography of it all, but also finding a way to start garnering some funding with, through filmmaking, through film education, working with other production companies to put together like even bigger productions.
And stepping up our game.
Stepping
too.
up our
we gotta
game,
Step
yeah.
up the game. We
Definitely.
gotta get more creative with our shots. I think utilizing our equipment in like more intricate ways
Yeah.
as time goes forward, but not like the whole time. Like keep things simple, but
Yeah.
also have some intricate parts.
Every now
that-
and then
that
have
make-
like a really nice
Yeah.
shot that's like, oh,
Yeah,
dude,
yes,
like, yeah.
I think we kind of did that in Zombies.
yeah.
There's some shots that, like I would change.
Mm.
Not in the sense that like the shot was bad, but like just in what the shot was telling you.
Oh, I would tell you, I would change a lot of the shots I ended up
Yeah,
doing just
there
because, and we talked about that before. Like for me, it's easier for shots when things are like kind of picked up in pace as far as like when the emotions are risen,
Mhm.
but when it's kind of chill, I'm just like, crap.
Yeah.
What shots that like I love that side shot, like
Yeah.
while they're in the house. That's my
I like
favorite shot. Of that
I like
one.
using Shot Deck. Shout out
Yeah.
Shot Deck. That is
Shout
a
out Shot Deck.
fantastic website by Todd Phillips.
Yeah.
So like great website. I use it for everything. So it's like perfect for like pre-production.
Mm.
And like I've told you this, like if you have an idea of a shot, you could probably find someone who did something similar.
Yeah.
You just got to know how to search it.
And that's something that we're going to be more intentional with in the future as we move on, like go forward, is putting stuff into Studio Binder and then putting it like
Shout
taking
out
stuff
Studio
from Shot
Binder,
Deck,
yeah. Studio
like
Binder, it really
making it
helped us
more,
out.
making it look more, be more professional, and also as we start to work with other people, they can kind of take some of the stuff that they've worked with us and apply it to their own productions too, because I feel like we ourselves are developing a standard for how we work with things and how we present ourselves.
Yeah.
And so like
We don't follow the industry standard by any means in anything that we do.
yeah.
And I think that's good because, the standard is so rudimentary and it's not always perfect.
It's not
I
always
think-
right.
And it's not always right. Like we can totally, create our own ways of going from point A to point B when it comes
Just
to
set your own standard.
exactly.
you know?
Yeah. Like we use DaVinci Resolve. Like most people use like Premiere Pro or Avid and like so like going out of
That's hearsay.
I mean, but that's the industry standard, and like I think it'll be fun to see like a shift in like what the standard is in filmmaking, and
Yeah.
us determining that in the Mobile when there is no standard in Mobile is key, right?
Yeah,
like
I agree.
We have companies and studios coming out from L.A. and Texas who have their own standard, and they're bringing it here, but I think it's better for us to build our own standard here in Mobile
Yeah.
and spread that outward.
Yeah. And in a way, it's like you're still learning from those people that have done it
Yeah.
in those other cities, but you are applying it in a way that works for where
Yeah.
you're at. Like, cause I mean, and that's where I always say it's interesting that like the last 20 years, a lot of the stories that have come out of Hollywood have been Southern stories. And to hear that from the actual Southern voice through the eye of filmmaking and, through the eye of just storytelling in general, I feel like you'd get such a whole different feel for like a story like Gone with the Wind. Like if that was done in the South, I feel like it'd be so different.
Yeah.
Long movie.
Man, they didn't even-
sat through the thing, but
They didn't even shoot Sweet Home Alabama in
yeah,
Alabama.
oh yeah, that was like in
how rid-
Mississippi and Georgia.
Yeah, like how ridiculous that they didn't actually shoot it here.
Yeah.
we had the opportunity to, but I think that goes right back to like the stigma of
You should just call
Alabama.
it Sweet Home.
Home.
There is no Alabama, Sweet Home, wherever. But I think that's because like Alabama's got issues right now. with like the film incentives and everything like that. I think it's up to us as filmmakers to push better incentives and push like for better environment for filmmaking.
But I think that also lies with us, like people doing like what we're doing and other companies that are doing, like creating film and creating opportunities to show why film is important, not just film but education of film, and like education in like audio engineering and like lighting and electricity and gaffing and like all those little nuances that really make like something what it is. And like, yeah, you can make something look really good with very little lighting. Like, you don't need a bunch of like really pretty, things. And I think that's what we're learning, is that like, I feel like if we were to be given $1 million, like you were saying earlier, like I feel like, dude, we could get a couple of short films in there, a couple films, a couple shows in there, like because we've allowed ourselves to work in a way.
I mean,
that.
Non-union.
Of course, non-union.
Yeah,
but we'd be able to develop our own standard where it comes to creating something that isn't just like, oh, we're just creating something just to create it. Like there's a purpose behind it.
Yeah.
Like creating educational material from all the shorts, like say like we were doing at Zombies in the Mist, we were filming like the lighting stuff. And like creating more things like camera work, like this is what we did with this scene, this is how the camera was set up and all that.
Yeah.
And like really creating educational content to give people hands-on experience so they can do it themselves and feel encouraged and empowered to do these things. And then people see the money that people make individually in Alabama, and then the politicians and whatever will catch on and like, oh, we can make money off of this stuff? That's crazy.
Yeah.
We
got to prove it to them.
Yeah, we got to prove it to people. And that's the thing. Like right now we're showing people the value of like advertising and entertainment, and like when people hear what we do, they're kind of like, I even get overwhelmed sometimes. It's like all the stuff that we can do and the stuff that we could offer, like not just like creating a project from the idea portion to it, but even finishing it and actually having a platform to put it on, or having a way to create more of an access to other audiences, like new and like familiar audiences. Like, I mean, it's crazy, but that's what this area is going to. Like, there will be franchisees that take over mom and pop shops if those mom and pop shops don't know how to advertise and market themselves to stay above the franchisees coming in about to freaking. McDonald's is about to take your 50-year-old restaurant down because you
can't compete.
Yeah, you can't compete, but you could if people knew who you were.
Yeah.
People want to know that what you do exists, and they want to help, but sometimes they just don't know how. And if you don't tell them how, then they're just gonna they're not gonna go outside of their way to help you because they got their own shit to deal with.
Like even for me, like I knew I wanted to be a filmmaker, but then I went to the film expo and I met y'all, and it kind of like started clicking. Like I finally had people who love this as much as I do,
and they feel reassurance that it's possible.
You feel that there is a culture here. There is something here. Because we're right in the heart of the South, bro. We are right here on the Gulf Coast. And there's not a lot of people out here trying to do it. And if they are trying to do it, I've noticed it's a lot with concerts. It's a lot with going out and recording other people who are like doing stuff. You know what I mean? But you are making your own space where you can just do what you want because you love it. You know what I mean? It's not like go in and you don't got to go and ask. I don't feel like I got to go and ask y'all and beg you to want to do something. It's like
hey, you're
interested.
Yeah.
You want to do it. You want to actually do it. Let's just figure it out.
Yeah.
And
we might need to buy a memory card or two.
Down here, it's hard to find people who feel that way, but it's slowly coming.
Yeah.
It is coming. It's like people, you can feel people. Like I have people asking me about what I'm doing and shit. And I know y'all have people asking you about what you're doing. It's because people are genuinely interested because they want to see somebody from this area do something. You know what I mean?
Everyone's waiting. Everyone's waiting for it.
Like just do
stop
something.
waiting.
On the world to
Stop
change.
waiting and do it.
I agree. Like they want to see these people here that they know, that they like have seen before, and that they can trust. And it's like all this Southern culture that we are bringing. And I think it's like It's on a path, dude. You see it.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Yeehaw! Roll Tide Monday.
Roll Tide.
You know, and that's something that I think is like a good point to kind of leave off on is like we do very much love this and we do want to create more and do more. And that's where, you know, the support from people that are watching, even from just like, because support comes in so many different ways, whether it is financial, whether it is sharing, whether it is liking, or just engaging with the content, commenting, sharing with your friends that like are like-minded in the fact, like they're like, oh, a friend of mine might like this, you know, like.
Or even like wanting to be a part of it.
Yeah, even
too.
be a part of it. Yeah, exactly. And
that's
like,
an open invitation.
yeah,
If
and
you wanna do it,
especially like
go
because
out and do it.
what allows us to do this is like create like job creation. So like finding people that need marketing, need content. We're content creators, and that's what we do for businesses. And we can create strategic solutions for marketing that content as well. So we're like a one-stop shop for everything. And like especially like with these short films, and you know, you want to be a sponsor. There's some great things to sponsor. Do you need a commercial? We have some like commercial elements that we can show you and things that we can do that can help elevate, you know, your business to be able to at least have content to share to be more accessible to your audience and future clients. But also like storytelling or like filmmaking, like being able to learn a camera, being able to learn some lights, being able to, you know, just like, I don't know, make this pipe dream more of a reality and less of, you know, like I have to go somewhere else in order to get this. Like you don't have to. Like you ain't got to move.
somewhere.
It's right here in Mobile. Like I'm a huge believer in like conquering where you are, because if you can conquer where you're at, you can get everybody else. But if you're a small fish and you move to a bigger pond already, like I mean, Nashville's great, but it is where it is. Austin's great, but it is where it is. You know, Miami's great, but
It's
it is
not
where
here.
it is. It's not here.
Yeah.
And dude, we're right there. We're in the middle of it. Like we're in the middle of Birmingham, Montgomery, Atlanta,
Orleans.
Panama City, New Orleans. Yeah, man. Like we're right there. Like you know, that's why the Civic Center pisses me off so much, that they're trying to put so much money into it. And I'm like, but the same people are still really in power. That the reason why that started going shit up in the first place is because somebody was greedy and said, hey, we want to take more money because we're not getting enough. And I'm like, bro, if that didn't happen, or like, you know, like that's, oh man, like we have so many chances to make it better, and we're on that cusp. It's just allocated funds to really bad, stupid choices. Like, you know, like it's.
That's what it feels like. It feels like it's on the cusp.
Yeah, it's right there.
I like
Right
that-
there.
I like that
It's
word.
right there.
The
On
cusp.
Cusp.
Cusp. Say it slower.
Cusp.
Right, but we are right there. we're getting close. I can like.
Yeah.
You can tell.
It's like you're just.
And I would.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think we got to submit Zombies to Sidewalk next year, because I went to Sidewalk.
Oh, I hope that Zombies is a little bit further than it is from this time next year.
I think it will be.
Like,
I'd imagine we have another project that we're proud of too.
yes. Oh,
think so,
we're
too.
gonna have a bunch, but I want to make sure that we're staying true to revisiting the things that we did in the first place. It's like Zombies is a continuation story. Late Night Coffee is a continuation story.
There's
All these
avenues to
things
go down.
are, yeah, exactly. And that's where I think a lot of like when we get to a point where we've satisfied our itch to make like 10 short films, then we're gaining money, we're getting sponsorships, we're getting people to invest, and then we can go back and go tell those stories like continually. And then like people are like, oh, let's look at the next one. And then one day we can get to a point where we can make a whole freaking thing, like reshoot everything, make a whole season of something, and then like
It'd be awesome.
do some like feature films and all that stuff. Like I'm a huge fan of that. We talked about that last night, like, and we've talked about it before, but like generating some really cool marketing ways to continually create passive income that can allow these stories to surpass just the movie aspect or just the written aspect of it. So like there's some really cool things. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm with Carson Robertson, director, CAO of All This Entertainment, as well as Parker Gottney, and he's a PA.
Logan
He's learning with us from
Follow
camera
me.
to lighting to
Follow me on Instagram.
audio and everything. Follow him on Instagram, Parker G.
Parker G.
Don't
You
follow
already
him.
know.
Don't follow him.
But man, we appreciate y'all sticking around. Remember to follow the socials on Instagram, All This Entertainment, Quasi.Studios. and on Facebook, All This Entertainment and Quasi Studios. Check out our Patreon, All This Entertainment, as well as our Roku channel, All This Entertainment. And again, if you're liking the content, please share, please like it. Just let your friends know. And again, if you want to support the projects that we're doing, whether it be individual short films or just in general keeping the studio going or just investing in a short film in general, reach out to us, allthisentertainment.com, and we hope to be able to just work together as businesses to just elevate one another. That's the goal, is to just to work together and create an accessible ability to find ways to do what you love, get paid for it, and grow. So we appreciate you sticking around. I'm Sergio inside of Quasi Studios, and we're All This Entertainment, and we'll see you next time. Check out the content. We love you.
Catch you on the flip side.
You're also
Flipping.
All This Entertainment.
Side.
All This Entertainment
You.
for
We
life.
are.
You are, huh?
You are.
You are. You are All This Entertainment.
I thought I was.
You.
Fuck.
We are.
We.
You are.
The royal we.
The We Collective.
Dude.
Hive
W
Mind.
podcast.